The following presentation is brought to you through the paid memberships of NotaryStars.com, the only notary training platform and resource library with over 150 hours of training on every loan product under the sun. Together with our sister website, OnlineNotariesPublic.com, which focuses on notaries who are pioneering in remote online notary, we strive to give you a safe place to ask questions, get answers, gain confidence in your notary career, and achieve success without overfabricating the truths about our industry. If you would like to support us, please consider liking this video, subscribing to our channel, sharing this video with a colleague, or becoming a member and trusting us to help you achieve the level of success you desire.
Hey, everybody. Hi there, friends. Hey, if you're new to Monday General Mentorship, welcome to Manic Monday. That's been one of those days. And Notary Stars this evening, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back to the Notary Nut House. Meet your mentors. Me, Beth Hadhoot, lead instructor. Mr. Ronnie Mickle is here. He's the Notary Stars founder and marketing SEO wizard, Wix legend. Kirsten Bly, which you just saw in that itty-bitty little clip of Are You Kidding Me? She's our notary liaison. And if you're a brand new notary, Kirsten's here to hold your hand and get you headed in the right direction. Mr. Bill Bumfrey is also here. He's our expert Ron guru. And Manuel Puga is your bilingual instructor. So he's going to help guide you through translation tricks when presenting loan documents in Spanish. We hold MGM sessions every Monday except for holidays, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. That makes it 6 p.m. in Arizona, which is where we're based out of. So mark your calendars for future meetings, guys. Let's make the most of this hour and leave feeling inspired, informed, and ready to conquer the notary world. We try to make listening an important part of this session, and our purpose tonight is to have a shared understanding of our industry. So hopefully you'll participate tonight by raising your virtual hand and asking that one question that's been haunting you. You might be a brand new notary or have 20 years experience, but we think everyone might just leave here learning at least one new thing tonight. If you could do just a couple of things for us, update your Zoom label with the state abbreviation behind your name. That way people can see where you hail from, and it's a good way to network with fellow notaries in your state. Turn your cameras on. Show your faces, guys. It's so much easier for us when we can see your faces. If you're shaking your heads no, we know we need to change directions. If you're smiling and nodding and going along with the conversation, we know we're on the right track. So help us help you in that presentation tonight. Get involved. Raise your virtual hand to ask questions or participate in any of the discussions that we're having. Okay. All right, Mr. Ronnie, I think we're ready for you to get this session in motion.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. And the first thing that I want to do is just make a couple of announcements so that you are all in the know. We had them last week. We're going to mention them again this week. The first announcement is we just launched our fourth quarter contest. You guys know we love to give away money. But this quarter, we're actually not giving away money to you. We're giving away to your children or grandchildren. We are running a contest for your children to use a traditional form of medium, no AI, no chat GPT, we can tell. We want them to draw a picture, and the theme of the picture is a starry holiday night. We have, Kirsten's going to be posting our newsletter into the chat tonight. Click on that, make sure you save it so you can get all the parameters. We would love to see your kids' drawings, and we're going to have them, voted on. We are not going to share your kid's name. We're not going to tag any social media. It's all in the contest that you can't do that. We might mention your name or what have you, but we would love to see your kids' drawings and let them win $250. Wouldn't that be an amazing holiday present for your kid or your grandkid to win $250? And here's the thing. The earlier you start with the contest, getting your kid drawing, getting them active, letting them be creative, the more votes that they can get on their piece. So get them started this weekend. We got a Thanksgiving weekend. It's like, okay, dinner's done. Here's some crayons. Here's some paper. Let's get going. All right. Next thing that I want to let you guys know about is we have launched our Black Friday sales. Every year we do a membership drive. This is the first year we have not offered steep discounts on Notary Stars. In fact, over the weekend, we brought in 12 new Notary Stars. Okay. I called Beth and I was like, I don't know what's happening. Somebody must have mentioned it somewhere or did something. We normally grow by one user or notary a day that comes through to get training. Literally 12 new Notary Stars over the weekend. So if you're here tonight with us, welcome to the family. We have brought in 650 something this year alone, and the year's not over. If you've been with us that long and you'd like to commit to a year with us, those Black Friday sales are up, and you're going to save 25 to 40% on your annual memberships. We also have sales on my previous conferences, my upcoming conference. Kirsten's got sales on resumes. Pretty much everything at Notary Stars is on sale, and all of our sister sites, which is Emergency Notary Services, Jail Notary Services, and Online Notaries Public, all on sale for Black Friday. This is the best time to get those annual memberships because you're going to save a lot of money. And we want to keep you here all year long because we are always going to be bringing great information. The last thing that I want to mention, I'm going to actually ask Kimberly Sennet to come up. So you guys know Kimberly Sennet from Notary Academy, one of our great liaisons in training here. We are definitely in a wonderful tandem partnership. I went to their conference this year. Kimberly has stopped by many times this year. You guys should know who she is by now. If you don't, please go look up Notary Academy. Finally, the name is theirs. I'm going to say it. She might not, but I will. Somebody won that case. Anyways, I'm going to ask Miss Kimberly to come up. Miss Kimberly has a new course coming out, and she's launching it on Black Friday. And I know you have a code, so make sure to put it in the chat, Miss Kimberly. But come tell us about your course, and all of you are going to want to hear about this.
Thank you so much, Ronnie. Thank you for having me, and thank you for allowing me to share with the notary community all of the wonderful things that Notary Academy has been up to as well. As you guys all know, we really truly believe in providing state-specific quality education, as Notary Stars does as well. We truly believe that we are the groups that you guys want to focus on in order to boost your notary careers. That being said, I'm super excited as a National Signing Service owner for Seal the Deal National Signing Service. We are contracted with two very large national permit running companies, permit expediting companies. And so we provide a lot of permit runner jobs to notaries. I have created a new course that will help you diversify your notary business. It is something to add to your repertoire of notary services. We are offering the course today. Today is the day that we are introducing it. We have a special introductory price of $172. It is a course with a certification that you can add to your platforms to let people know that you are certified and know what you're doing when it comes to doing permit running. This is a full comprehensive course for notaries to do any type of permit run. And the regular price of the course will be $247. So if you're able to purchase the course and give yourself a little Christmas, a pre-Christmas gift, Thanksgiving gift, whatever you want to call it, it is tax deductible. And we will be running it until Monday, Cyber Monday, till midnight. I see a couple people have their hands up, and I'm assuming it is about the course. So if
They were actually up before the announcement.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
But I do want to come on and
questions.
I do want to come on and just let everybody know. So here at Notary Stars, if we don't teach something, we point you in the direction of respectable trainers. Kimberly actually is one of those respectable trainers. We have, Notary to Pro. We're definitely working with Notary Academy. When it comes to permit running, Miss Kimberly, you've actually told me multiple times, most of the bulk of your signing agent business is permit running, and you focus a lot on that. Now you do all kinds of signings. But I want to show everybody, if you don't mind, I'm going to share the screen. Kimberly, along with many other trainers outside of of Notary Stars came together and met with Signing Order, and we've really pushed them to be able to put your certifications in the back end of Signing Order. So I want to kind of show you how this is going to work in the future. So we have apostille, courier, fingerprinting, and you'll notice that there's, let's see if there's permit running. Permit running is not in there just yet. We are looking to get that in there, and Signing Order has been very receptive to getting those tick boxes for everything that we're able to do. So signing services like Kimberly can pinpoint those notaries. Okay, so that's coming in the new year. They've already agreed to it. Clip it, send it to them, because Anthony at Signing Order met with us. It wasn't just myself; it was Kimberly, Cynthia, Nina Penny, Laura Bewer, Signing Agent Basics, Kendra Lewis. Who else was there? Come on, help me out here, Miss.
Notary Zoom, Notary Zoom signings.
Yeah. So we had a bunch of meetings on how we're searching for notaries in the back end. And for someone like Miss Kimberly, this certificate is going to let people know doing permit running. And I'm going to actually take the course. And I never bring anything on Notary Stars that I won't pay for my hard-earned money and learn myself. I'm interested in learning to do permit running myself. I mean, over the years, just most recently, estate planning was like the big thing. And I want to say this, and then Miss Kimberly, we got to kind of go on with the night, but I want you to field the chat. And anybody, Miss Kimberly is here. It's Kimberly Sennet, Notary Academy. She's in the chat tonight. Please chat with her, get all the information that you need. But I want to say something. We are coming out of a downturn, right? They've lowered interest rates. Mortgage rates haven't come down yet. We heard so much about estate planning the last 9 months before that happened. And then everybody's kind of being quiet and everybody's going back to come back to loan signing training. Here's the deal, guys. Learn something new while we're on the upturn and implement it into your business. That's the best advice you're going to get tonight, is learn to do something new so that when the next downturn comes, you've got it. And that's the problem we have with a lot of notaries, is that they don't learn something new when they're just coasting on loan signings. There's so much we can do. Miss Kimberly, how do you feel about that?
No, I absolutely agree with you 100%. And Ronnie, I really want to point this out as well, because I know Notary Stars does not do certifications. And I want to point this out, is that you do not need a certification to be a permit runner, okay? The reason we offer this, and it is to help educate you, to guide you, to give you a better understanding of the skills that you need in order to conduct a permit running assignment. And it helps you to market your business and know how much you need to charge, who you need to market to, all those sorts of things. So please understand, just like loan signing, you don't actually need a certification, but we do like to see those in the profiles, like Ronnie said, because it does help us understand better who we might want to hire, because you might have a better skill set than somebody that doesn't have that certification.
And Miss Kimberly, you're gonna have a student tomorrow. I'm gonna sign up for it. I will be one of your.
Okay.
I'm gonna take advantage of the code. And just so everybody knows, I'm not getting this at a discount. She's not giving this to me for free. And for her coming on here, we're getting no commissions. Like, I brought her here. She was telling me about it, and I was like, you have to come to Notary Stars and tell people about this. Like, this is a true, just like you guys, when you are networking out there, this is just true networking. I'm not making money off of this. We do have affiliate codes that we're working on in the background because we kick the ball back and forth. But right now, in this moment, this is just honest, pure trust of trainers behind the scenes bringing something to you.
I have to add to one more thing really quickly. I'm sorry, but I have to add to this, is that anybody that knows me, anybody that's part of my community, knows that I'm a very transparent and a very honest individual, and I'm a very fair person. And this is one of the reasons why I have chosen to collaborate with Ronnie, why we have decided that we need to bring our notaries together, is because there are not a lot of people in this industry that are honest and transparent and will tell you how it really is. And so I'm here tonight to tell you that everything he is telling you is 100% honesty. And please take that with everything that you have, and know that we truly are passionate about this community, and we are passionate about helping you guys. Plain and simple.
Miss
If I
Kimberly,
can interrupt really quickly, Kimberly, there's two questions that I'd like to get you to answer as short, as quickly and to the point as possible. They're in the chat, kind of repeated over and over. One, what is notary permit running? And two, is your training only restricted to 11 states that seem to be on your website?
No, it is national permit running. Please let me just tell you really quickly, the reason that we are only open to 11 states right now is we want to provide the best quality education to notaries and the best advisors that we can. And so we have not expanded because we are looking for experts in those states. Second of all, permit running course is for national. My signing service, we do all states. We run all national, and it is for anybody that is interested. Please make sure, though, where you live, that you do a little bit of research. I do have this in the course, but do a little bit of research and make sure that the municipalities that you live around, that they do in-person permitting. There are some municipalities that have moved to online only, and you will hear that often, but that is just because of COVID. There are a lot that did it in person, went to online, and are now going back to in person because it's easier. It's the gold standard. So this is for everybody. This is for every notary. You actually don't need to be a notary to be a permit runner. They just like to use notaries because we have high integrity. We are bonded and insured. You are not notarizing documents. You are not working in the capacity of a notary when you are working as a permit runner. I hope that helps.
And then could you give us a really quick, brief description of what is permit running and why would someone be interested in doing it?
So permit running is actually pretty simple. You are helping basically being a courier and also helping and assisting with some documents. You are a middleman for an architect, an engineer, a project manager. You're basically going into municipalities and submitting for permits and picking up permits, helping with revisions. All of it is pretty much just handling paperwork and scanning paperwork and just communicating well.
Relevant to construction, I'm assuming.
Yeah, all kinds of different permits, and that's all in the course as well. But it's more of a side hustle. It's not something that you're going to earn a full living off of. It is something to diversify your notary career, just like we do apostilles, we do general notary work, loan signing, etc. This is something else to add to your notary services and be able to have a side hustle, be able to fit within, everything you do all day long.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Miss Beth, before we go to the hands raised, I just want to remind everybody, we have tons of job forms that you guys have written in that we're still backlogged on. We're going to get to those, but we want to hear from you when you're here. This is the best time to raise your hand. Please raise your hand. I'm going to make this quick announcement, and then we're going to go straight to the hands raised and then start going back and forth for job form. We can help you with document questions. We can help you with remote online notarization. We can help you with marketing questions. Get those hands raised because we only have 45 minutes left together tonight, guys. Miss Beth, I'm going to put this in the chat and I'm going to actually go ahead and put it into the chat. Recently from Title and Escrow, and this is actually one of Unlimited Ink's clients, but I want to bring this up because it was a big deal. Recently, there was a notary who was trying to help a signer fill out the tax forms for the California estate excise tax affidavits. The notary had the best intentions, but it was caught that it was not in the signer's handwriting. The notary also filled out incorrectly, subjecting themselves to a lawsuit. Fortunately, Title was forgiving and gave a warning. However, they did make it very clear that the signer had implied starting a lawsuit. Under no circumstances should a notary ever fill out tax documents for a signer, let alone any documents. You should never, ever, ever try to speed up your signings or aid your signer in filling out a tax document, because the first thing when it came back, are you sure this is what you wanted? Oh, no, I will sue them. I will sue them. And it was a California notary, and I'm sorry, I see a lot of California notaries. Catherine is here from California. She knows if you breathe wrong in California, you can get sued. It is a very Sue happy state. I see May's Chan on here. She can probably tell you, California is not a state that you want to back up to someone in the wrong way and make that happen. So because you open a door. So let's just remember, we do not fill out documents for signers. That is not our job. All right, Miss Beth, let's keep rolling.
All righty, let's go ahead and start with the hands that have been up for a minute or two here. Miss Daisy out of California, would you like to unmute and ask your question to us this evening?
Yes, thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Ronnie, I wanted to talk to you about the back end on signing order. You just showed us the categories, and I want you to know that I am an attorney and a notary. So I had both attorney and notary checked, the circles filled in for signing order. And then all of a sudden, I looked at my profile and the attorney circle was not filled in. I went and I filled it in, and it would take the notary circle away. It would toggle between where I could not fill in both circles. I had to choose notary or attorney. So I emailed signing order, because at one of these sessions you gave us, the idea you can email signing order, and signing order said, yes, you can no longer click both of those circles. You'd have to start a second profile. So I'd have to start a whole brand new profile from zero for my attorney. There's many jobs that are attorney notary only that pay more and that I really like doing, like an SBA loan, for example. And my question to you is, can you give me any advice on starting a whole new profile so I can have an attorney one and a notary one? And I don't know what pitfalls, I don't know how to, I can't connect my profiles. I'm very stressed out about it.
Okay, so let's make this easy. What's your email address?
allmenotary.daisy@gmail.com.
Okay, so allmenotary.daisy@gmail.com is your notary email. And then with Gmail, you get multiple aliases. And all you have to do is create another profile with allmenotary.daisy+1@gmail.com. It will come to the same inbox. So you can still, but you'll know when it's an attorney file because you're getting paid more. That's the biggest significance. So you can have those two profiles and you'll know which one that you need to log in with. And when the order comes to you, it'll just tell you in the email address. Was it all me? I forgot it. All me.
It's okay. Call me.
Call me. Oh, call me. I was saying all me. Callme.daisy@gmail.com will be your notary, +1 would be your attorney. Every Gmail address out there gets an alternative, and you can do as many as you want, as far as I know. They may have limited it by now, but you can do +1, +2, +5,000. I have different listings all over the place where I've used Gmail with a +1, a +2, a +3. As long as you put that plus right before the @ symbol and a number or a letter, it'll give you as many aliases as you can get, and then it'll all come into the same inbox.
Okay, thank you so much. I did not know that. And then any other tips for my actual profile? Because if you're on the back end and you're looking at me and you want an attorney notary and I have 0 orders or something, are you going to be concerned?
I'm going to give you this in reverse, actually. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to give you this in reverse, because signing order and SnapDocs are primarily going to be looking for signing agents, not attorney clients. Attorney clients usually work for big firms and they're going to get them. So I would say focus on your profile, letting people know that you are an attorney. You can do those things. However, when you're not operating as an attorney, when you're acting as a signing agent, make that the biggest thing that they see, because we don't like, signing services don't like working with attorneys. You guys are a pain. No offense to you. Maybe you're not, but clip it, send it to all the attorneys in real estate. They make it way more complicated. I'm sure now working as a signing agent and as an attorney, you can see it's actually not that hard. You do the same job, you just charge more. You may want to let people know when you're operating as a signing agent, you will definitely not cross the lines as an attorney, because you are operating in a different capacity. Let them know that up front. And then, are you in my marketing course by any chance?
No, not yet.
I would love to see an attorney in my marketing course, because if you are part of the course on learning SEO and getting the word out about your attorney business and what you can do in the real estate sector, I'd love to host you there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That same type of mentality that he was talking about, Daisy, is not, it doesn't single out just attorneys. It's
No.
also the same for real estate agents. They don't like to combine notary field agents or signing agents with other real estate professions, real estate attorneys, real estate agents, loan officers. They just don't like to combine those because in those instances, they always seem to be telling title what they should be doing, and they don't like it. So they avoid you guys. So, okay. Mr. Mark, would you like to go ahead and unmute and ask your question?
And Mr. Mark, as you're unmuting, I just want to remind everybody, we got about 35 minutes left together, if that. Get your hands raised if you have questions here tonight. Even if you put it on the job form, if you want it answered tonight, make sure you raise those hands because we have a finite amount of time.
Thanks, Steph and Ronnie. My question is, when I am offered work, I look at the amount of money and what time it is and where the appointment is, and I make a decision whether I want to say yes or no to it. The one thing that's kind of I had an issue last week is it was a smaller. I've been getting smaller documents, but I still allowed ample time for the signing. But instead of getting the smaller, it was like over 130 pages, and it was a new buyer, and so it took a lot longer to do. So it put me behind to my next appointment. Is there a way for us, as we are deciding whether to accept work or not? It would help, I think, if we had that paper, the size of the document, to give us a clue. Maybe we need to make sure we have more time between that appointment and the next one to help us decide if we're going to take it or not. Does that make any sense?
Miss Beth, do you mind if I take this one?
Go ahead.
And then you can chime in on it. So, Mark, this is nothing that I haven't experienced out in the field, and I learned my limits. Like, I literally could do 175 pages in the same amount of time that I could do 45 pages because I gave the signers the same amount of customer service, just in a smaller window when it was 175. I could literally get there and do it. You have to know your limits and say, how much time would I need if it was a large package? You will get better at your craft. And I happen to know that you're newer in the industry, and I hope that's okay to say. I was 10 years before I came into that thought process. Give yourself ample time. If you make less signings in your first 1 to 2 to 3 years, that's okay. You're on your way to greatness. Quality is everything in this industry. You will never be without as long as you're giving the quality service. And you're always going to be thrown a curveball. Unfortunately, title and escrow and signing services don't always think that they think you're out there just sitting waiting for it to happen, and that's not true. So you need to pad your time, and then if you can fit another one into the day, that's what I learned, was fitting another one into the day, being that guy that would take another one. That was the key. Does that help you at all, Mr. Mark?
Yes, it does, because I want to provide that quality service. That's one reason I got into it, was to help the assisted living and skilled nursing residents. And then, I found out about doing the closings and things, which I'm enjoying doing. But I also want to make sure that I give ample time to the customers that I am providing. So it's just, it's a little nerve-wracking sometimes, because I always like to be earlier on time. So that's a Mark thing.
Yeah. And Miss Beth, do you have any comments that you want to add in on that?
I think the more he does it, the more he'll realize what his best efficient time is. And then being able to control the table is going to be secondary. So oftentimes when we say, I know I can get this signing done in X number of minutes, what I can't control is what happens on the other side of the table. But when you get more confident and more experience at manipulating and controlling what's happening during that signing, now you're getting closer to saying, I can absolutely squeeze 15 minutes out of this signing, put it over on this one, and do another one right in the middle. I know I'll have time. So that's just experience, Mark.
And then Miss Beth, I would like to ask Manuel, who's our Spanish speaking instructor, there has to be some kind of even extra padding. I mean, maybe there's not. Manuel, how do you feel about it when you're doing it as a second language with people? Do you have to pad even more additional time into that? Or is it the same way? I mean, are you just like always on go when you're going both languages?
No, for me, it's just the same. It's just another language that as I'm bilingual, right? So I'm just communicating just in different language, but it doesn't take me longer than if I was conducting it alone in English. But what I do want to say to Mr. Mark, it's also it helps when we get and we have time, right? Sometimes we get last minute documents, right? But it always helps when you prep your signers as well. So if you know that you're going to collect a copy of IDs or any other documents, just kind of prep them over the phone, have that stuff ready. Also, let them know that you're going to need a clean table, right? Because we go sometimes and sometimes like they have a lot of stuff on the table, right? They have to remove everything. So that takes time also. And if they are, buying or selling and their properties in a trust, sometimes they don't remember certain information, right? So if in my case, if I know it's the properties in a trust, I have them get that documents ready for me. This way they're not keep getting up or social securities or whatnot. But that helps a lot.
Awesome. I think this is the perfect time to announce, guys, if you have not marked yourself and you're bilingual in Spanish, Manuel is starting to send out Spanish-speaking notary emails specific, only if you've identified yourself as Spanish-speaking. So if you speak Spanish and you're doing loan signings, make sure you go to your Notary Stars profile. It has its own tick box. It's not, do I speak another language? It's, do I speak another language as Spanish? It has its own tick box. So make sure that you have marked yourself so you can get Manuel's newsletters as well. Miss Beth, we have another hand raised. We have quite a few raised. I love that.
We do.
Get your hands raised because we've got about 27 minutes left together. Next question up is from Urania. I hope that's right. I know it's Miss Whitaker, but
There you go.
How you doing? Okay. I got a question. So you mentioned that there was a notary that was trying to help somebody with their tax document. It sounds like to me that the notary was possibly a tax preparer plus a notary. And my question is on that, whether you're a notary in a tax profession, a notary and an attorney, a notary and a real estate agent, because there's two separate entities, wouldn't it be more wise to put them up under two separate businesses?
not when it comes to loan signing. So when it comes to loan signing, you have to realize title's contracting you. Okay, they're contracting you for a specific service. That's to be a signing agent. If they're not able to fill out those tax forms by themselves, they need to let title know, I can't fill these out or what have you. This notary took it upon themselves, and they were not a tax professional, they took it upon themselves to help the signer fill out those documents, either to keep, thinking that they knew how to do everything, which they didn't, they made a mistake, or to speed up their own signings. And we as notaries can never forget that if it takes a little bit longer, that's why we pad our time. We were just talking about this, padding our time. And if you are a tax preparer, you have to realize you're not being contracted as a tax preparer when it comes to signing order, snap docs, or direct title. They're expecting you to operate as a signing agent. They're not contracting your tax preparation services.
Okay, now then that was just straight error on her part, because even I know not to do that. But I just want to give a prime example. I had people reach out to me and say, hey, I see you're a notary, but do you do, this is just an example, do you take images, right? Picture images of the properties or whatever. There's signing services that are asking notaries to do that. And in my case, I had to research that, and I'm like, okay, that's a whole separate business. So I separated the two up under.
And if you go to Unlimited Ink or Notary Stars, you'll see that both of us have both of those are my companies. I have both of those, and I teach it in my marketing class as well on how to capture those clients because those are great appointments. There are a lot of things that we can do as a dotted line to a notary.
Yeah.
But combining them at a signing table, that's where we're going to get in trouble.
Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you.
And the other thing, Urania, the other thing that this notary did that caused her to get caught was she wrote the information in for the signer. One thing we teach in class every day is we don't say it every day, but we teach it in class is never by our hand.
Right.
Never.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Can I date for my signer? Never. Can I check the box for my signer? It's just an X. Come on, I can do that. No, ma'am. You cannot.
Under anything.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And Ms. Urania, I just want to say one more thing before you go. I know you're pretty newer to our community, and I really appreciate how your brain works. I appreciate you bringing questions. I saw you the last time we were on, we couldn't get to you, but the one before that was a great question. I appreciate that your brain is turning and that you're not afraid to ask questions. And I want to encourage each other to ask questions. And I noticed that, and you don't ask too many at all. You ask good, solid questions. So I appreciate you coming on each week, and I can see your dedication. So thank you for your dedication and welcome to our community. I really appreciate you as a newer member and you jumping right in with questions.
Well, thank you.
We do have a lot of questions on our jot form, guys, and I hope we can knock a few of those off of there, but I still want to get to the people who have their hands up in the gallery. Cookie is next. If you want to go ahead and unmute and ask your question, Cookie.
Hi, guys. So this is a question and a share, I think. I did a signing today, and the warranty deed had 4 witnesses in Florida. And so I only had myself and the realtor, that's who they used as their witness, do the 2 lines, just 2, because that's all I've ever saw for 2 years. And the signing was being done with lawyers, because the buyers wanted lawyers. So then the seller went with the lawyer. They also pointed out I didn't have the closing disclosure signed, but there was no signature page. I guess I was supposed to guess that. I'm not sure. So I had to go back to the seller to get the closing disclosure signed. They made me put an X in a line. And of course, meet with the realtor there to get us to do the other 2 lines, because what they wanted was witnesses for the husband and the wife, which I never saw that before. Yeah, 2 each. And I guess that's in Dade County in Florida, Miami area. So, okay, so I get to, as I'm driving there, time is getting close for FedEx. So I run into the FedEx that I don't use often. And I said, when is your last pickup for Express? And she said between 4 and 4:30. Well, I was meeting them at 4, which was only 5 minutes down the road. I'm going to try to cut this short. I'm so sorry. So I get to the sellers and the realtor's running late. So I call the realtor and I say, meet me at FedEx, because she's going to be late. I could get to her faster than her just getting those signatures. So we meet at FedEx. I tell her, go inside, because once I'm inside, if FedEx walks in, he'll wait. So we're inside. We do it. I take pictures real quick so I can send to the signing company. And I bring it over to the counter, and me and the realtor are talking. And this is the part where I want to share and ask a question, but I had to lead up to that. We're talking, and the FedEx lady walked up to me and said, hey, this is ground. I said, what? I don't know. What do you mean? She said, this is a ground label. She said, when you came in here earlier, you said it was going to be an express. Ground already picked up. This won't get to them until Friday. I'm like, oh, well, I'm like, you know, well, the realtor freaks out because the lawyer's office won't close on scans and they want to close tomorrow. So, long story short, the realtor ended up paying for an express. So, my question to you guys is it something we should know about the ground and the express? Is this something we should know? Like, she looked at something on the FedEx able and was able to tell it was a ground and not an overnight.
Yeah, it'll say next day or Saturday delivery if it's over a weekend on the label somewhere. So here's my question to you. What day did this take place? What day were you meeting there?
Today.
Okay, so today's Monday. So
Yeah.
they're saying it's a ground label. It won't get there till Friday. FedEx already picked up today for ground. So
Yes.
it takes some more days. So it's still, if you hadn't, ground was the label that was provided to you by
Right.
your hiring company. So
Right.
even if you could make it today, it still wouldn't get there till Thursday. It's not going to be an overnight delivery. So I'm wondering what the issue is really.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, is it something we should know? Like, is it something we should be concerned with as a notary, whether it's a ground or express? I think that's where my question is because most of them are express, right? They want it next day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's why it's important for us to get there before the cutoff. So is it something we should be looking at is what I'm kind of asking on at every label.
Miss Bev,
No, Cookie,
can I comment?
I wouldn't stress about that. And
Okay.
we have a different opinion there, but our job is to treat that package like a hot potato anyway.
Right.
Sign it and we're going to get it to FedEx, even if we've got 4 hours until the next pickup. We want to get it out of hands, right? So we're going to do that naturally on all of them. If we're running up against the clock on an afternoon signing, that's maybe when you want to look at that label and see if it says overnight or express delivery, and it'll say that somewhere on that tag. I might have to look at one to see if I can figure it out for you. But
I feel like just so I could tell you guys that had that not happened while I was standing there and they didn't get that package tomorrow, right? I would have got something saying, where's our package? Where's our package? And I would have never known it was a ground.
yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? Like, well, you sent me a ground. So I almost feel like I want to share it with everybody. So maybe it's something we should be looking at, or maybe I just am taking it way overboard.
Beth, can I comment on this?
Sure.
Just as a signing service, I will tell you that escrow officers are people too, and they sometimes upload the incorrect labels going to the place. And we teach you at Notary Stars that that's part of what you need to be looking at. You know that file when it's closing, if you see something that's not overnight, if you're not making cutoff, if it says ground, it could be 2-day. They might have made a mistake. And so reaching out to that signing service and saying, hey, I'm going to drop this if you don't have to do scans, or if you have to do scans and you got approved and it says closing, they might be able to close with scans and just have the tracking number. But you need to make that initial reach out. If they made a mistake, you still treat it like a hot potato. Okay.
Right.
I've done the signing. I've completed the signing. I got reviewed. I'm dropping. Never miss a drop. Waiting on an answer. You get it out of their hands because eventually it's not your problem. You did your part of it, and sure, they can come back and say, why didn't you reach out to me? That's the biggest one, is why didn't you reach out to me? If you reach out to them and they don't get back to you in time, that's on them. And
Michelle in the chat just put in, she's in Florida too, Cookie. She said ground for FedEx has a large G on the label and
Okay.
Express has an E. So there you go. There's the way to
So
tell
it's,
FedEx.
so it is something we should be looking at then, just like Ronnie said, just because it is usually express or overnight. And yes, I drop as soon as I can. But I think that's why I wanted to share, like maybe it's something other notaries don't know. I was put in that position. Now I learned it, so I'll definitely be looking. But had I not known at that moment, I'm sure I would have been getting a call. Where's our package, right? Like,
Yeah,
did
I'm
you
still
drop
confused
it?
on that. I'm still confused on the timing anyway, but you're right. It should probably have been an express package. Someone
Right.
else, Cookie, in the chat, Brenda, used to own, and she's in Florida as well, used to own a UPS store. So with UPS tracking, if it starts with a 9, it's express. Or wait, if it's ground, it starts with a 9, express starts with the 7. So make notes, guys. FedEx
Yeah.
is G and E, and UPS is 9 and 7.
So Ronnie had mentioned, should it be something like if we learn this, right? Should it be something we should be just messaging the signing company with, hey, I noticed this is a ground. Do you realize is it something we should do?
you're looking
I,
at you're looking at small businesses throughout the country. Not every title company is as big as Open Door or, Amrock
right.
or Quicken Loans. So they may be trying to save money. You need to be looking at when it's closing. And that's something that we teach
Okay.
at Notary Stars.
Gotcha.
Look at that
Yep.
settlement date and say, okay,
Okay.
if this ships and it gets there in 2 days, is it still getting there on time? If it's getting there on the day of closing, they're probably fine, especially if you had to do scans. You need to be able to look at that closing date. Now, if that closing date's the next day and then you have a ground, there's a room for alarm. So you have to make that decision. But if you do it for every single person who does that, you might become a nuisance.
Yeah.
So make sure
Yeah.
you're looking at when it's closing.
Yeah.
That's going to be your biggest
Okay.
signifier.
Perfect. All right. Perfect, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I love that your brain works in this way and that you're thinking about these things and you're getting other notaries to think about these things.
All right, Mr. Mickle, we have a guest in the audience.
I gave Miss Delora, I gave her a co-host, and Miss Delora, if you are ready, I call her Deal Laura.
Deal, Laura.
Hi, guys. I think you can hear me, yeah?
Yes.
Hey.
Okay, good. I just wanted to pop in. I know everybody is getting ready for Thanksgiving and all that good stuff this week, but we are still in open enrollment time for your health coverage. And so I just wanted to pop in and remind you of that and let you know that if you need coverage starting January 1st, you need to have all of your health coverage enrollment things finished by December 15th. Otherwise, it'll need to be in by January 15th and will then start on February 1st. So make sure you guys are looking at that. And as small business owners, you may also not realize that you have other options available to you. And that's where I come in if you want to look at all the options available to you so that you can find the best suitable information. Just feel free to reach out. I'll put my information in the chat for you.
You're on mute, Mr. Mickle.
Miss Delora, I always like to share my story with you, with everyone, just so everyone knows. When I was 21, I was 2 days off my father's insurance. I got bacterial meningitis. I spent 8 weeks in a coma, died twice. And they said I would never walk or talk again. And the price of living was $500,000. At 22, I filed bankruptcy. Still regaining my health at the time. If that happened when I was 44, which I am now, thank God I'm still alive, I would not be able to recover. I don't believe I would be able to recover. I don't even have it in me to try to recover at this point. So the reason that we bring Miss Delora in is because if you're not being covered by a spouse's insurance, you really need health coverage as a small business owner. She may not have the best options for you, right, Mr. Laura? You let us know that up front. We have posted your information in the chat. I'll post it again. But it's at least worth exploring because you know what Oprah says. You see the wall coming, and then the wall actually hits you until you learn your lesson. Let's try not to learn that lesson the hard way. Let's get health insurance coverage for at least major medical.
Yes, absolutely. And I am here to show you all of your options. There's no pressure to choose one over the other. I'm going to show you what options you have, and then you're going to decide what's the best fit for you.
Thank you, Mr. Laura. I hope you'll keep coming back. I know that open enrollment, when does the open enrollment end?
December 15th for a January 1st start date, and December 15th for a January 1st start date, January 15th for a February 1st start date.
Okay. But you can also help people throughout the entire year.
Absolutely, but you do not want to wait last minute because lots of plans that I have are underwritten, meaning you have to qualify with your health. So waiting until the last minute and then missing deadlines is not a good thing for you to do. Do not procrastinate. You will have fewer options if you procrastinate.
Thank you, Mr. Laura. We really appreciate you stopping by.
Sure. Thanks for having me. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Mr. Mickle, we've got a long-standing Ron question. Can we get that out of the way before we do the last hands up?
Absolutely. Mr. Bill, we're going to read you out a great question here.
Actually, it's two questions that are very similar. One's from Kimberly, one's from Jackie. Obviously, they're both similar. One says they're interested in getting more Ron business. How can they do that? And the second one is pretty much the same thing. What is the best way to market your services as a Ron or GNW if you only launch a part-time basis? So, can you help with those questions?
No, that's so those are enough questions to fill an entire episode. So we're going to take just the smallest chunks of that. I would say that if you're a part-time basis, then I would go after general notary work before I would go after the loan signing stuff, because the loan signing is going to expect you to be a little more in their time frames, where when it's general notary work, you can make them fit your mold. So I would say that if you want to go part-time, I would start with general notary work. I would say that you definitely, if you're trying to look to market to get more Ron business, yes, you can go to the signing companies, but I think that you'd be better served looking for all the other elements that are out there. Ron is still very, very untouched. You can go after any number any number of fields. Basically, you can go after the entire state of California because they still don't know anything about it. They still don't. I do signings every single day in California, and they always say, this is amazing. I didn't know you could do this. And so kind of think outside the box. Part-time, don't go after loan signings right away. And if you're newer, one admonition or one thing, a piece of advice I would give you is, if you're brand new to remote or to notary in general, don't jump straight into remote notary, because now you're being a notary and then stacking on top of it being an IT person and having to coordinate all these extra things. There's a lot of opportunity to miss stuff. And unlike screwing something up in person where all it costs you is your time to go back, if you screw it up on online, you have to now pay new fees to go online again. You have so I would say know what you're doing a little before you jump into the wrong realm, and come to class, because those questions, we could spend an entire hour picking apart each of those, because there's so many things that you can do in there that we can talk about.
And Mr. Bill, I just want to point this out as well. Please tell everybody the two places that they can connect with you through your Ron training. So you have two ways to connect with Bill through Notary Stars. So you can have a Notary Stars account, and then Bill, how else can they connect with you?
I don't know.
Online Notaries Public.
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't know. Come to class, send me an email, bill at notarystars.com, bill at onlinenorariespublic.com, either one of those.
So Bill teaches all of you get everything that he's ever taught when you're a Notary Star member. If you're proficient, but you want the marketing and you want the basics of how Bill got to where he is as a remote online notary, you can also go through Online Notaries Public. That's our sister site specifically for online notaries. So you can connect with Bill in two ways through those avenues. So just wanted to make sure everybody was clear on those.
All right.
Miss Beth, we're in sudden death. We got 4 minutes left and 4 hands up. Let's get
Sudden death.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Fast-paced rounds. Monica, please unmute and ask your question.
We got you unmuted, Monica, but we can't hear a word.
Ruh-roh. You have no microphone. Can you put it in the chat, Monica, and we'll try and follow up with you here in a minute? Okay. Tim, would you like to go ahead and unmute and ask your question?
Thanks, Beth. My question, I had a signing. It was a little bit out of town, about 40 miles out, and I put enough cushion in. I am newer, so I put enough cushion. It was just a selling, only had about 38 documents. But I got there, and the first thing that happened as I was going through the settlement statement is that he didn't like the amount of cash coming to him, and he noticed that they didn't put a seller credit in, and he had a different understanding of how the expenses were going to be paid. He thought the buyer was going to be paying all these expenses. So my question is, when you hit that, it stopped. I hear that little clock ticking in my head. I'm starting to run out of time because he's wanting to talk to everybody. Suggestions to help them get back on track, get a partial package filled out. What do you suggest?
Yeah, hang on, Ronnie. Tim, you don't have a lot of wiggle room there at all. First of all, we always tell you go over the settlement statement and or the closing disclosure first. When there's numbers missing, particularly credits on a seller file, there's no way we can look and see if they put it someplace else. That's something that's just a credit that's totally missing. We can't find paid outside of closing or anything on that settlement statement. You got to stop and make a call to your hiring party. When numbers don't match, take care of it in the beginning if you can, because you might not be spending very much time there. You'll be collecting your papers, waiting for them to resolve issues, redrawing paperwork, and then you go back out. Ronnie, do you agree?
I kind of agree. So one of the things that we've been taught by our clients, and this is unanimous across all 450 plus clients at Unlimited Ink Notary, is that they do not have to sign the settlement statement if they do not agree with it. They can sign everything else. And here's the thing about a seller file is 99.9% of the chance of the time they can sign that settlement statement electronically, but they cannot close the documents without the settlement statement. So they can sign everything else, avoid a second notary appointment, and you can literally give them assurance that they can't record without a settlement statement. You can leave that settlement statement with them, send it to the party. Now, you do want to let your assigning party know that that's what you're doing. You will probably get accolades for doing that and letting them know, hey, they cannot close without a settlement statement. If they decline that, you need to let the assigning party know, especially if you couldn't reach them. If you're working for Unlimited Ink, if you have not reached out to us, we will not pay you. We will pay you your full rate if you've reached out to us and they don't sign the settlement statement. We gave them that option with you. We have to get a confirmation that they were given that option. You want to let them know they can't close without a settlement statement. You probably can sign this electronically. Get them to go ahead and sign everything else so you get the full fee, because then it's just an electronic signature. They're never going to hate on you for that. If you attempt that, make sure you notate. If you're Unlimited Ink, make sure you call us, let us know, voicemail, text message, whatever you got to do, that you get everything else signed if they agree to it. But they literally can't close that file without a signed settlement statement. You can get everything else that they need, though.
Yeah, so that's what we said at the very beginning. Make that call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Mr. Mickle, Monica did put her question into the chat. It's actually a Ron question for Bill. And it says, Mr. Bill, I have my first loan signing direct loan. The client is out of the country. My question is Blue Notary a good platform to use? So remember, it's a Ron signing, or excuse me, a loan signing. You're on mute, Mr. Bill.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry about that. So if it's a loan signing, the first thing you need to find out is who the escrow lender title wants you to use. There are certain lenders that say you must use one of these several approved sites. If they are brand new to the entire thing and they don't really know, then I would do the site of your choice. If it's a loan signing, you're probably going to want to pick one like a Blue Notary or something that has a fixed fee where you're just paying a certain amount to access the platform. It doesn't matter how many signers and how many stamps and how long you're on there and all those other things, because different platforms have different menus as far as what you're going to pay. So again, if you know the one coming up and you want to email me, I can probably give you more specifics on it. But your first thing is, what does the lender require? If they don't require anything, then you choose. And if you're going to choose, then I would pick a platform that's going to be the most cost beneficial for you.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much. Mr. Mickle, we are 2 minutes after the hour. How do you want to proceed here?
Let's get these last two hands raised really quick. I know Bill's got a hockey game. He already let me know. I know Miss Melissa is not a Ron Notary because she's out of California. So if you got to get on that hockey game, you go ahead. But you're doing the outro.
He's doing the outro. So
he turned his camera off and then he turned it back on when I reminded him he's doing the outro.
I'm listening. That's why my camera's off, because it's already in the second period.
One of your buddies on Notary Stars, one of your buddies on the hockey games.
Well, we only have one hand remaining. That's from Melissa. So
we're
Melissa,
all human.
there you go.
There we go.
Good. Hello, everyone. I just have a quick question. Have you heard of Monday.com? Because a signing service wants me to sign up with that platform, but then it's something that you have to pay for. I guess there's a free version, but has anyone heard of the Monday.com or signed up? I just got that notice today.
I have not heard of it. I just went to it. It looks like a CRM website. Where did you get this notice from, and who did you get it from?
From Sign with Trust. And then it shows that it shows like they're offering a job, but it's just an example, I think, of what you can get from them. I guess you don't have to use the CRM, but it just seemed like you had to do a free trial. So I'm not going forward.
So unless Sign with Trust wants to come on and explain to everybody at Notary Stars why they're getting you to sign up for something that costs money. We charge money because we actually offer training and have to pay the educators here. It looks to me like they probably have an affiliate link. And in fact, let's just see Monday.com spaces affiliate. Let's see if they offer. Yeah, looks like that they're offering an affiliate program. So it's probably something that they want you to pay for so that you can get, so that they can get some kind of commission. Maybe they use that platform as well, but you're probably going to be paying something that they're going to get a percentage of, and then you may not get jobs. So if you work with them often, maybe, but if you're not working with them often and you're just getting one job, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But I didn't know if anybody else had got that email or heard of it.
Send them an email.
Maybe in a few days. Maybe in a few more days.
And say, hey, email contact@notarystars.com and let them interview you and see if you want to come on and talk to hundreds of notaries nationwide. Because, we'll interview them. And most of the people that get requested to do interviews are not brave enough to come on here. So if they're brave enough, they're probably good.
Yep.
Cool.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks, Melissa.
All right, everybody. I am going to ask you, we are 5 minutes over. Thank you for staying with us, especially for those of you on the East Coast. Please turn on those cameras and let's give our signature wave. I'm going to ask all of you to turn on your cameras tonight. because I'm not the only one doing the outros. I'm going to say it my way. If you are not naked and you are not stuffing your face with a sandwich right now, please turn on those cameras and let's give our signature wave. And tonight, Mr. Bill is going to be taking us home. Mr. Bill, how do we really say it here at Notary Stars?
Well, I don't know how we really say it exactly. I don't have a boat analogy, but I have a car analogy. We probably all went through driver's ed. You don't have to have driven every road in order to be able to drive a car. Don't let analysis paralysis stop you from jumping in there and doing the work.
Good
That's
job.
what I have to say.
Good job. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Night.